What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with MoneyVest. So we've got a very, very important week coming up. Next week is going to be critical because of one single catalyst, and that is the 20-year bond auction. So Treasury auction is going to take place, as we already learned a couple weeks ago, that the demand for the 30-year bond auction was not as strong, which obviously resulted in the yields kind of surging a little bit higher. And as a result, we did see the markets kind of a little bit more volatile on that day as the yield started to go up. That's obviously not a great catalyst for the markets overall. So that's exactly what we're going to discuss in this video. So I hope you all enjoyed this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. There is a 16% annual discount that's available till the end of this month. And I've opened up a couple more spots, and I've got a brand new announcement to also make. And that is the Psychology of Investing Money and Markets course is now finally complete. There are a few more lectures and tutorials that I need to upload. But right now we're doing a 50% off sale. The coupon code is going to be launch, and you get lifetime access to everything. This is a course which I'm super proud of because it basically goes over 9 years worth of investing experience, including lessons from many books on finance, investing, business, trading, making every mistake possible. So I would highly recommend at least checking out what the course is all about. And I will include maybe a couple free videos that you can watch and see what it's all going to be about. And then, of course, make a decision if you want to enroll or not. Again, lifetime access, and you get over 30 plus lectures, including a lot of spreadsheets. So now we have over 4 courses. Fundamental analysis, technical analysis, options trading, and psychology as well. And right now, of course, because of Thanksgiving next week, we are doing a 50% off across the board, across all courses. You can buy them at half off. So that's going to be linked down below. So all of them are going to be available with a 50% off coupon. And of course, you can join the Patreon as well. And the coupon is going to be Thanksgiving. So if you do go on the website, every single course, the coupon code is going to be Thanksgiving. And you can just type that in and you will get 50% off, 60% off on bundles as well. So let's start it with the earnings first. So we do have a lot of earnings coming out. So yes, it's winding down a little bit. So we're not, as many companies as what we have seen before. But we do still have quite a few companies reporting, including the likes of Zoom. We got Agilient Technologies. We've got Kohl's reporting. We got Medtronic, Lowe's, Best Buy, even Baidu is going to be reporting pre-market on Tuesday. And probably the most important company of them all is going to be D-Local, right? I'm just kidding. It's going to be all the way up here, and that is going to be NVIDIA, because that, of course, is what's the hottest stock, the most trending stock in the market right now, along with HP and Autodesk. Don't forget about Autodesk. Autodesk is actually a very, very popular software as a service company that I really like, that I will be doing an analysis on in the future as well. And of course, we've got John Deere also reporting on Wednesday pre-market. Now, this right here is when the fun begins, and this is probably one of the most important catalysts coming up next week, and that is going to be the 20-year bond auction, okay? So that's going to be on Monday, November 20th. And of course, we've got the existing home sales, we've got the FOMC meeting minutes, all that stuff obviously comes out. We've also got the GDP numbers coming out, which I'll go over in just a minute. But this right here is the Treasury offering amount, and that is going to be for the 20-year bond for $16 billion. This should not be a big deal. It should not be a problem for the U.S. to find demand for a $16 billion bond auction here. It should be. And given how the interest rates are going to be at 5.245%, I'm assuming that, like I said, the demand's going to be there, but you just never know, right? Because we learned from the previous couple of weeks ago that the 30-year treasuries, this I think was $24 billion. We didn't quite see a lot of demand for this. And as a result, the yields did spike and did surge quite a bit. So this is going to be very, very important because, of course, if the yields do spike, that's going to push the bond market lower. That's going to drive equities possibly lower once again, because again, risk-free rate as that goes higher, it's all an opportunity cost. And this right here is going to be, again, the initial jobless claims that come out every week. We've got the inflation expectations. We got the consumer expectations. Consumer sentiment comes out at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. We got the Atlanta Fed GDP Now forecast for the fourth quarter as well. It is going to be a shorter week, so Thanksgiving, United States, of course, it's going to be a holiday. And then on Friday, Black Friday, the markets are going to close early at 1 p.m. Eastern. So we're not going to see as much trading activity next week. The volume is going to be a little bit lower, but that's usually the setup for the bears to take advantage if there is not a lot of volume. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And again, this right here is the $16 billion offering for the 20-year bond in the US as well. Now, coming over to the markets, S&P 500 approaching a resistance, right? So we've talked about 4,500 or close to 45.20 to as much as 45.37, 45.40 are going to be some of those levels to watch, not to mention the RSI and the MACD is a little bit more on the overbought side. So we are certainly seeing a little bit of that overextension on overbought levels here for the market, not to mention the NASDAQ here also approaching some level of resistance here. So this is the level that we have talked about at 14,100, 14,150. And again, these are levels that, again, we're starting to get a bit more overbought, overextended, ahead of ourselves. So if we do start to see a bit of a pullback, I would not be surprised if the markets do come down to kind of fill that gap here. And a lot of that obviously depends on the back of treasury auctions and what that yield ends up doing. So coming over to the 10-year yield, we have obviously been dropping, and that's actually a good thing. So since the end of September towards the first week of October, we have seen the 10-year treasuries drop like 12.5%. Not to mention the dollar index also has been falling since the first week of October, down about 3.2%. And then, of course, finally, the most important catalyst driving all of this is also crude oil prices, which have also, seen a significant decline of over 23%. So we talked about these three things, right? The trifecta of trouble here, three things that have been driving the markets lower and then back higher because of the fact that they went up and now they're starting to come back down. These are the 10-year treasuries, the yield basically. We've got the dollar index and crude oil prices as well. So overall, going into next week, I'm not super optimistic considering how much we've already rallied. I mean, in the month of November, we've got the S&P, the NASDAQ, they're up like 6 to 9% just this month alone. So yes, the markets are, from a technical analysis standpoint, overextended, overbought. The sentiment actually is very bullish and very optimistic going into next week because of what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. However, from a risk-reward basis, from a technical analysis perspective, I'm not super confident that this rally can continue without seeing some pullbacks. And a lot of that is discussed in our technical analysis video as well. I just want to remind everyone, make sure that you do check out the links down below for the courses. Thanksgiving is going to be the coupon code, and you do get 50 to 60% off on individual courses and in the bundle as well. So thank you so much for joining. As always, happy investing. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.